So Eastside Cruz is looking to explore other options at 135. He's confirmed now 2 or 3 times now that he will also explore options at 140. So he's going to be jumping between 135 and 140. He's looking at the best competition that he can possibly get at this time. He doesn't want to fight anyone who's not on the list of being elite guys or just the upper echelon, the best of the best. That's kind of what he's focusing on right now. Focusing the best of the best right now. The elite guys in the division. He's already called out guys like Ryan Garcia at 140. I just don't know all his options right now. I don't know everything that he has going on. I know Berinchyk, he's looking to fight him for, I think, the WBO lightweight title if he doesn't get other options at this time. Berinchyk will be a guy that he definitely will explore options with. But other people outside of Berinchyk, I don't really see him having any other options right now. He's had mandatories back in the past, but I don't know if that was I don't know if it was the Tank Davis thing he was waiting on, or just the whole division as a whole. As a whole, a lot of guys at 135 hasn't been moving a lot. If I had to really guess, I would probably say that the promoters and guys are really trying to be careful on who they choose and pair together, because they know that those guys are a huge threat and anyone could lose at any time. So that's definitely something that I know that they're considering at this moment. So we have to all put that in consideration as well. But it's definitely surprising to me that a lot of these guys right now at 135 haven't really been as active as Eastside Cruz. I know Keyshawn Davis has. He's jumped in the picture with. He turned pro around the time that Eastside Cruz fought Tank, so he hasn't been around as long. So that's kind of what's exposing a lot of things that's happening at 135. Those two guys, they haven't been around long, and they're already kind of making a lot of noise, doing the most things. So I would like to see a few more different things happen before we can kind of make a big judgment call on basically who's the best at 135 and who's not looking to make the best fights and what's the best option. We got to wait on those certain things right now because we just don't know. But after a while, if you're in that category where you're kind of not making things happen, people are going to start pointing guys out as far as not being available when top competition is knocking at their door. So if that's going to continue, a lot of guys won't get considered at all. And that's kind of what the situation Eastside Cruz is in. He's not really getting considered for any kind of top fights right now, because he hasn't put himself in a position where he can get a title or something that can make guys want to hunt him down. He's still in the position of trying to hunt somebody down, but it's not easy when you go up there and take a fight with Tank Davis, and then you're kind of waiting if a rematch is available, if it's going to happen. Then when it doesn't, you're kind of left in the cold as far as what's going to happen. But Berinchyk, if he can get to 135, I like Eastside Cruz at 135 right now. I don't think 140 will really make too much sense. Just because even though I've seen that he can make 140, it's just that it wouldn't make sense right now because he could be a threat at 140 later on. Like, that's still gonna be a explosive division later on. But as far as right now, I don't feel like that's gonna be a huge division because guys aren't really fighting each other now. So adding Eastside Cruz in the picture, that's not gonna do anything but make things worse. So I would definitely try to bank on something else instead of going to 140. Unless it's a big name. If he can get a Rolly or someone in the ring, that would be nice to see too. But it have to be for a belt though. I don't want to see those type of fights without something on the line. Unless it's a mandatory. If it's not like a mandatory or something, man, we're trying to make those type of fights happen. I'm not gonna be really in agreement with those type of fights. I don't like to see those type of fights happen too much because I don't know, guys just really aren't doing much. So why would I want to see that fight and you're only fighting once a year, and then the whole next year I gotta wait till later on? A lot of these guys haven't fought in what, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. So a lot of this time they're taking off. It's not gonna make sense when it comes around time for these other guys to go in different divisions and come up through the rankings and they get a mandatory shot at a title and they're not ready. That's why Ryan Garcia was worried about being active and things like that. He's like, oh man, I just want to be active. I just want to he just want to be active, you know what I'm saying? He just wants to kind of have his name as far as in a mix a little bit as far as active guys, which you can't be really mad at. You know, it's hard to get active around this time. Hard to get active. There's a lot of people that haven't fought in a while and they got to beg for certain fights. Ryan Garcia, you get easy opportunities at fights. You know what I'm saying? You got Isak Cruz calling you out. You got Rolly. You got Devin. So it's a lot of things that definitely goes on, but we'll have to see. Definitely have to see. But I feel like Isak Cruz should get that belt at 135. And if Tank gonna be at 135, then you can possibly do it that way. If he's gonna go around with the belts. If Tank gonna run around with the belts, then I would try to corner him as far as that. But if he got an opportunity at a belt, I think he should take that though. But I don't know though. He might have to. Would he have to go overseas or something? I don't know. I don't know what that whole situation would be, but that'll be a good opportunity for him if he wants to kind of put his name on top. Because at this point, all he wants is basically a belt, man. He been out there for a long time at 135, but at the same time, when you wait around a very long time, you got guys like Frank Martin that come out of nowhere. So now when you're dealing with Frank Martin, it's like, okay, I got Frank Martin I'm dealing with, so how do I deal with your situation? So, and Frank Martin, I feel like he's definitely somebody who gonna put you on the spot as far as wanting to take the fight. If you don't want to take the fight, Frank Martin he gonna say, oh, okay, we'll see. A lot of guys at 135 not doing that. A lot of guys at 135 don't want to take fights. I don't know. Isak Cruz gonna have to do something, man. Can't really defend him after a while if he don't take certain fights. It's gonna have to be people gonna have to point him out as far as being one of those guys. Because 135, it ain't that hard to make a fight. Ryan stayed there till he couldn't make weight no more. Now he's in the option as far as saying that he needs certain opportunities. I mean, bro, you could have fought these guys at 135 already. That's why he fought that. That's why he did that fight at 135 with Tank. Cause he knew, he like, hey, I might get the 170. I might get the 147 in a minute. Like, that's what a lot of these guys don't know. They body changes, so they can end up at 47, 50, 54 in no time. If you cutting a lot of weight, it's gonna add up. You can't cut heavy weight all the time and you have a great performance. That's not gonna happen. But a lot of guys, they can have a lot of that stuff come off as far as like Isak Cruz. A lot of that stuff that they the weight they cut, he can have that come off fast. That's why he's saying, oh, I can do 35 or 40. I know you can, but everybody can't do that. That's why when a lot of people hear guys say, oh, I don't want to do that second day weigh-in, that's because a lot of people don't got a lot of weight they can come off. It's not really as easy as you think it is. But Eastside Cruz definitely gonna be a huge factor. His next fight is gonna tell a lot about the next 135 division. I kind of knew he wasn't gonna have an opponent by now if it wasn't gonna be Tank. He was gonna find out who his opponent was, and it was gonna be nobody available. Well, actually, he does know his opponent, so he's just looking for other options. He want a bigger fight right now. If I was him, I'd just relax, man. Just go ahead and just fight the fights I need and get a paycheck right now and just force them guys to come to you. That's it. If you don't want to take a certain fight, it is what it is. A lot of guys right now ain't it's like the Wild Wild West right now. A lot of guys ain't going by sanctioned bodies or mandatories. They getting title fights. I'm like, man, what do they do this at? A lot of these guys doing it. But you know, it won't last long. It definitely won't last long. These new guys, they starting to come up now. Because what's going on is, when you start fighting certain guys, and another guy come along and knock out one of your past opponents and doing worse than you do, that's when it start to come out that people be like, oh, okay, that guy ain't that good. So y'all better watch out with these guys that y'all fighting, because if he end up being a bum, he gonna get exposed. Definitely gonna get exposed. But I seen a few fights lately where I'm like, and that's what I'm saying with a lot of guys. That's why they don't want to go deep off in the roster like that. They don't want to go deep off in the division. Because they know if I pick the wrong name, I'll get exposed. A lot of these guys just ain't been exposed yet. That's all it is. I don't know who's going to get exposed, honestly. It depends on what style goes together. I can't say a guy get exposed and then he just lose a 12-round fight. I'm talking about embarrassed. So that's what I'm kind of expecting. I'm expecting somebody get embarrassed, man. I'm expecting one of those fights. I'm definitely expecting one of those fights. But Eastside Cruz, if he can do the division right, as far as put on some more good fights, memorable that we can remember, just give us about 2 or 3 more fights, big names, just with a Garcia or a Haney, just a name at the end. Give us about like 2 or 3 more though. I wouldn't even care what he do after that. But at this time right now, bro, it's low expectations right now. All I'm asking for is like 4 of those type of fights from guys. I ain't even asking for a lot of them. I'm like, let me just get like 4 of those type of fights, and then we'll figure out the rest later on. I just need 4. That ain't asking for much. 4 of those type of fights? That ain't a whole lot. Berinchyk, I don't know. I don't know if that counts as one. It is a title fight, so you can kind of count it as one, but it ain't one we was asking for. We wasn't really asking for that fight, so that's where it comes in kind of tricky, where it's like, I don't know if I would consider that a top fight, honestly, in my eyes. But it's a championship fight, so that's all you gotta ask for though. But that's all I got though. Like and subscribe.